Okay, so basically I'm finished with my, I guess the time is about 3:40. So I'm kind of finished with lunch. I'm having a late lunch and kind of going into dinner time. But as you can see, I finished the plate lunch, from Poi Bowl. And sorry, that's the Walmart Oahu bag. Oahu Walmart bag. So as you can see, it is sheltered. It is sheltered, even if even if you get a warning on your phone, a ballistic missile. It is sheltered. It has a sheltered top on the plate lunch. Diamond head warning. But anyways, you can see there's the salad. The salad, I put chili pepper water. The chili pepper water on the salad. It came out pretty different. I put the chili pepper water in the mac salad, and the mac salad was actually it kind of went well with the mac salad, because usually you don't put chili pepper water in poke or ahi poke, because it doesn't, poke is not supposed to, whether it's ahi or whatever poke, it's not supposed to be spicy. So as you can see, I put the chili pepper water inside the mac salad, and they usually give it separate here at Poi Bowl. It came out pretty good. Came out pretty spicy in the mac salad. But anyways, from a side view, I want to talk to you about white supremacy and the foundation of white supremacy that Tariq Nasheed was talking about here, and when he came here. And I guess he stayed at the Marriott, and he also was talking about the Starbucks issue, where black people were sitting at Starbucks and they were told to leave because they were black, and they were not allowed to use a bathroom. They were waiting maybe about 5 or 10 minutes at Starbucks. So he's kind of talking about that when he was here, Tariq Nasheed. And also the symbol of Starbucks. That the symbol of Starbucks is actually a Kemetic or Kemetic god or goddess portrait that was stolen from Kemet, or what you call it, or Ta Negas, or Ta Moray. So anyways, from Ta Moray, they stole the symbol Starbucks, and they're using that symbol as, I believe it's a goddess, it's not, it's a Kemetic god, but it's a very, it's a portrait that's very commercial. And as you can tell, a lot of these Caucasian people, they steal everything, steal everybody's ideas, steal a lot of stuff from Kemet, or Ta Moray, or Ta Negas, what it's called before. Before it was, now it's called Egypt, means bondage in Greek. So it actually was conquered by, I believe the Roman Caesar, before Napoleon went in and destroyed the nose of the Sphinx, because the Sphinx was black. It is a portrait of a black person as a lion. The Sphinx had a wide nose, so Napoleon got jealous and actually blew the Sphinx with a cannon. And they have a portrait of that in France in the 1400s, when basically the Arabs from Babylon, or Arabs from, or the Syrians, went into Kemet. So the Nubians and the Sudanese actually migrated back to, I guess, Western Africa or parts of Africa. And even were, I guess most of the people who were enslaved from West Africa to the shores of U.S. in the 1600s were actually Shemites, Hebrew Israelites. So anyways, I'm here at this food court, and even some of the things that I've seen, even like Poi Bowl, Poi, or, right next to it, there's a Senor Pepe. It says fresh Mexican food, and it's not Mexican food. It's actually Americanized food. and even the Siam. There's a Thai food restaurant right next to the Poi Bowl. And as you can see, you hear some comments. These are actually the perpetuators of white supremacy. In Hawaii, there is a group of sort of like rabbit-proof fence. If you ever seen rabbit-proof fence, the story of I don't know if it's so much of Little Africa or Australia or Tasmania or even Bogobon or Bougainville, where they had the guerrilla warfare recently and also in the 70s. Well, if you watch the movie Rabbit Proof Fence, they basically try to get rid of the melanin, get rid of the dark skin of the native people. And that's what they did here when the missionaries came and bought the land for not even a penny, just stole the land from the native Kanaka Maoli. So anyways, as far as what Tariq Nasheed touched on, he might be here in Oahu right now. He might not be. It's January, I guess January, hold on, let me check my date. It's January 15th, and I love that Tariq Nasheed was here, and he comes here frequently in Waikiki and Oahu, and he is one of our YouTube bloggers who does profess black nationalism, does profess black news, and news that's not from the white media, like per se, like ABC, NBC, or CBS. Stuff you watch at KHNL News, that's all obviously white media because it's NBC. ABC, which is also white media. PBS is also white media. So we have our own news as far as black nationalism, Asian news, black news, Pacific Island news, which is not doctored, not changed, and the real news, basically. And that's what Tariq Nasheed on YouTube, he pretty much professes on YouTube and on his website. So basically, as far as the tenets of white supremacy, not so much going into the ISUPK or Sikari or General Yohana on NBC News, the Hebrew Israelites, 12 tribes, blacks, Latinos, natives, the 12 tribes of Hebrew Israelites. Not so much going into even that field with the ISUPK, which is probably one of my favorite, next to Master Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who was professor at the university and he lectured at Cornell, Harvard, Yale, Master or Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. But anyways, as far as what Tariq Nasheed touched on, the reason he was talking about the symbol on the cup as far as Starbucks and the nipple, the way the top of the nipple at Starbucks is made, how roundish it is, like sucking on a tit or a nipple. So they'll get you subliminally just to make sales. They'll do things like that, and they're not just making the cup certain way or this. They're making it a certain way so they'll attract customers at Starbucks. So that's pretty much what Tariq Nasheed touched on when he was here in Waikiki, probably in December. So anyways, I have spoken, emailed, I've talked to some people like Angel Ramirez. I've emailed them. I'm familiar with Cynthia G, ISUPK. And different groups, advice show, and basically I agree close to 100% what they're saying, or close to 100%, because a lot of that is true and I've experienced it. So basically, as far as this food, marketing, this Hawaiian style or Kanaka Maoli food, or try to make it Hawaiian when Hawaiians or Native Hawaiians or Bumpy Kanahele, Nation of Hawaii, Waimanalo, sitting on a 55-year lease, they don't even get a penny from this, marketing this Hawaiian style. But anyways, the Nation of Hawaii is run by Bumpy Kanahele in Waimanalo. They're sitting on, I guess, like a 55-year lease in their own land, in their own, aina, and I guess Al Jazeera sent a Palestinian. Al Jazeera is a Qatari or Asia Minor or Emirates news channel. So AJ, Al Jazeera, sent this Palestinian girl to Waimanalo to talk about how the white man, or the so-called white man, woman, child, is suing Zuckerberg from Facebook is suing the Kanaka Maoli's land, so they can just steal the land. Just suing them so they could buy the land, acres and acres, huge acres. I guess whether it's in Waimanalo or somewhere in Oahu, just suing the native Kanaka Maoli for land, just to steal their land for like pennies on the dollar. So pennies mean they want to take a whole huge land, sort of like Kualoa Ranch where they filmed Jurassic Park, just for like $800 for a huge amount of land. That's like almost the whole Waimanalo or something like that for $800. They want to buy that land for $800, forcing a lawsuit. So anyways, that's what's going on here and in Hawaii. And you can kind of see the tenets of white supremacy, or even the commercials you'll watch when you're going to the hotels, whether you're in Hilton Hawaiian Village, whether you're in another hotel, Sheraton or whatever. They'll usually have like this haole or Caucasian kind of in these Asian channel, or propagating the stores in Waikiki or Ala Moana. But obviously majority of the Hawaii people are dark skin or dark brown, and you'll never really see that unless you walk outside the island, because majority of the people here are dark brown or black or yellow or dark brown, melanated. So what are they doing with as far as the marketing Oahu? And the marketing scheme, the scheme of things, a white supremacy scheme, and I'll say scheme, is they're trying to take as much from the Japanese as possible. You have the Japanese tourism, you have the South Korean tourism, North Korea tourism, which they recently unified, and you also have the China tourism and Hong Kong tourism, and even Taiwan, EVN. But I guess they're trying to market to the Japanese saying, hey, this is the United States. So we have haoles, we have Caucasians, and this and that. But the truth of the matter is the Caucasians are mostly homeless here. The Caucasian people, you'll go out to Ala Moana, you'll go out to IHS homeless shelter, and that's where they usually hang out, at the IHS homeless shelter, Aloha Park, or Mauna Kea River Street, Chinatown. So a lot of the homeless problem here is just getting out of hand. And the homeless problem is so bad that if I go and take a plane to Skid Row, if I go to Los Angeles, Skid Row would look like Beverly Hills compared to this island of Oahu. Not necessarily saying I'm going to Jamaica and go meet Naomi Campbell or Naomi Osaka or whatever. I'm not Chinese like that, but just to understand, there, in Jamaica, there's a lot of Chinese there. A lot of Jamaican Chinese, Jamaican Koreans, a lot of Chinese Korean stores in Jamaica. And I don't know if that's necessarily in Kingston, but I had friends from Jamaica who were born and raised there. And they would tell me just sort of the economic situation there. So I've seen videos from Coco, Coco in Japan. Coco, she's a Jamaican girl married to a Japanese guy. A black girl married to a Japanese guy. And the Coco videos on YouTube, I guess, Tariq Nasheed kind of was talking about it. And I don't see that too much as far as like, what he was talking about, like, whether it's rape or whether exploiting, Jamaican music or black music. I didn't see too much of that when I was watching some of Coco's videos or stuff like that. But I did see a lot of where a lot of the Japanese are very into the Jamaican music, so Jamaican music scene. So that's another channel I watch, Coco videos. I watch Sayonetta, of course, Sayonetta Black News 102. Sayonetta has got a huge following, and Sayonetta not only just talks for the black communities, but it also talks for the Asian communities and our ethnic communities. So Sayonetta, Black News 102, and the different guests that come out there is very interesting. But anyways, I'm here in Oahu, and I've pretty much grown up here most of my life, and I've noticed the change even at this mall, this Aloha Mall, who I guess the owner stole the land or bought the land for like $1 or something from the native Kanakamalis, and he built all this, and there's no air conditioning at this mall. If I go to Los Angeles or New York City or Washington D.C., I'm sure the mall is air conditioned. If I go out of the stores, here the mall is not air conditioned, and even the rain seeps into the mall when you go outside the shops. So that's something that I guess they were maybe thinking about putting a roof over the top of this mall, but they never did. Just like they were trying to put a roof over Aloha Stadium, and they never did. They just want to keep the cost minimal and make the most money. So that's pretty much what it is. It's all about the Benjamins, and that's what I guess the person who's running this mall is, and the people who have their little kiosks here, or have the lease on the shops or whatever, or the boutiques or the department store. They pay a certain rent fee or fee for renting the place. And also, if you notice, in the U.S., a lot of the malls are closing. A lot of the malls are closed. Even Kohala Mall here in Honolulu, which is in the most expensive area of Honolulu, Kohala. Kohala is like kind of an upper class area, and that's where they have a Kohala Mall. And that mall almost closed. People don't realize that, but they were almost ready to close that mall. It was air conditioned. They didn't have very many customers. They had a fun factory in there. They had a theater, and the theater was pretty much open. They have a Long Strugs, turned to CVS Pharmacy recently, and that sort of saved the momentum there. That U.S. franchise from Rhode Island, CVS Pharmacy, Long Strugs that turned into CVS Pharmacy and turned back to Long Strugs, which is pretty bizarre. But anyways, so that's how the mall kind of got saved from Long Strugs, because Long Strugs is there, and the Japanese tourists go there too from the trolley, and they're kind of, they always try to sucker the Japanese tourists, and that's just like all over this place, even all of Moana here, and in Waikiki, especially Waikiki, they always try to sucker the Japanese tourists, and they'll buy anything or try to overcharge them or whatever they do, or whatever grab bag or Bukuro bag or New Year's bag that they try to scam them with. But anyways, so this mall, Moana Mall, the history of this mall, when I was growing up, this mall was actually, a lot of the places were being built, or even this food court, it wasn't as big as this. So when I was growing up here, they had like a sumo bento place. They had another bento or Japanese place, and they had like a few shops on that side where Poi Bowl was, and stuff like that, and Sparrows and all that. But the thing is, like, as far as the scam of things, or the economic scam of things, of white supremacy, you'll find that these people are basically, trying to market themselves. When I look at this, even at this food court, majority of the people here are Asian or dark brown or dark skin. But you don't really see that when you turn on the television, when you go to Waikiki or the hotels, or even the airport hotel. Turn on the television, you'll automatically see like a Caucasian or light-skinned people kind of talking Asian or talking Japanese or talking Asian and trying to market this place. So that's the thing about white supremacy. They really try to code and really try to focus on, okay, if we're going to market Hawaii, we're going to market it for Gilligan's Island or for Thurston or whatever. or we're going to pretend to be Charlie Chan, Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney want to be Charlie Chan or whatever. These cultural bandits, these Esau, Edomites. According to ISUPK, they're called the Edomites, and God hated Esau. Wars in their heart, spreading lies, wicked from its inception, from the womb of the caves. You know the verse, Malachi chapter 1 verse 3. General Yohana, Captain Tazariak, ICPK Cross the Line Radio, Romans chapter 9, go over it every day, or every time they make a video on that, about Esau and how the white man is the devil in the Bible. So anyways, not so much going into even Nation of Islam with Master Wallace D. Farad, who called the white man the devil. And he was a British India citizen. He was an Indian person, from Pakistan. And, the Quran, the ancient scriptures, is published in Pakistan, the English version. And you have Elijah Muhammad, of course, who did huge things for the black community in Harlem and Detroit. Even with, and Elijah Muhammad was obviously a student of Wallace D. Farad. And Farad was a British India person from Pakistan. He was a Pakistani. But anyways, even with Elijah Muhammad, with the minister Louis Farrakhan, with Master Khalid Abdul Muhammad, with as far as even the new Black Panther Party for self-defense, which Khalid Abdul Muhammad separated from the Nation of Islam and went into the new Black Panther Party for black nationalism. Basically, you'll see a lot of that stuff going on here in Oahu and Hawaii. And Tariq Nasheed, he was talking about the black-owned businesses. There is a few black-owned businesses here in Aiea and near Porridge Mall. That's another mall. There's a black business, black-owned beauty salon there. There's also a Korean-owned black beauty supply, which they have a monopoly on the black beauty supplies, the Koreans or South Korea. So the black-owned businesses, he was kind of talking about like the barber shop in Waikiki. It's a black-owned business, and he didn't really touch on the beauty salons. But anyways, the beauty salons, there are a few black-owned business beauty salons, and they probably do use Kazuri or black-owned businesses. So anyways, so he was touching on the black-owned businesses when he's here, and he wants to kind of propagate that. I'm kind of touching on the food aspect, comparing this food to L&L's, which is very popular here in Hawaii, L&L plate lunch, with, I guess, the founders of L&L, and I believe his name was, the founder of L&L is Islam, and also a Filipino guy from, I guess he's from Eddie Flores. Eddie Flores is a founder of, with Lam, another, I guess, a Chinese guy named Lam, or Taiwanese guy. And they founded L&L's, and L&L's is huge here in Hawaii, and the food is pretty good, and they give you a lot of food, and the prices around the Poi Bowl range. I'm gonna have to say L&L's tastes better than this, the Poi Bowl, because L&L's, the food is more, I would say it tastes better, it has more flavor, where this has more of sort of like cafeteria food that I'll eat at University of Hawaii Manoa. You could get this kind of food at University of Hawaii Manoa or Kapiolani Community College or Leeward Community College. The food taste is like cafeteria kind of taste. I'm gonna have to say L&L's tastes better as compared to Poi Bowl, but the price range is about the same. You know, with the large drink, it'll come out to about $14, and the plate lunch is around 10 something, 11. But as far as the white supremacy that's constantly here in Oahu, and they never really want to look at it. The only people who kind of face it daily are the Kanaka Maoris, like Bumpy Kanahele, Nation of Hawaii Waimanalo Homestead. Mililani Trask would talk about it. Kumu Mililani Trask, Haunani Trask at UH, Keanu Sai. And I've talked to Kumu Keanusai, or Professor Keanusai, and his idea of Kingdom of Hawaii is more of hey, we want Kingdom of Hawaii, but that's not even what most Kanaka Maoris want. Most Kanaka Maoris just want their land back. So that's all pretty much the basis of all these movements are about. Kalahui, Nation of Hawaii with Bumpy Kanahele, Mililani Trask, Professor Keanusai. It's all about the land. So as you can tell, the so-called white man, woman, child, they're really into the land. I mean, this is just a lava rock, and they won't give the land back to the Kanaka Maoris, even a small piece of lava rock or a chia pet. And this island was originally settled before, I guess, even before the Bayonet Treaty, overthrow of the Iolani Palace in 1784, 1700s, late 1700s. And King Kalakaua had to sign the Bayonet Treaty, and that relinquished the power of Iolani Palace, which was built by Japan with King Kalakaua and the Ali'i. The Ali'i had a very close relationship with Japan, the Ali'i. Not so much the Kanaka Maoris, but the Ali'i, the royalty, the monarchy of Hawaii. So when you talk to a lot of Kanaka Maoris, in Hawaii or even in the U.S., they'll say, or Japanese, or Buddha head, or slant-eyed, or Kotong. They'll make kind of, little ethnic remarks that we do here in Hawaii, just, kind of like Frank De Lima or kind of like Poi Dog and Crabs, raps, Hawaii kind of jokes. But, it's okay to make jokes and stuff like that. And, if you're from Hawaii, that's kind of normal, like, the ethnic jokes. But as far as, what I'm talking about, it's the land. That's pretty much what the Kanaka Maoris just want. They just want their land back. So it's not so much of the term sovereignty. It's not even so much the term, Kingdom of Hawaii, because the Ali'i are the ones who actually, gave the palace or didn't keep the palace for the Kanaka Maoli people. So the militia came at Sanford B. Dole, Castle and Crook, these 13 Caucasians who acted like Mr. Belvedere and just tricked and bamboozled the Ali'i. Queen Liliuokalani, and King Kalakaua just got bamboozled and just got really tricked by these so-called Caucasian and white people, the 13. So basically, the militia came and there was a war for months in front of Iolani Palace. There was actually a World War III. You can say it's World War III because this was the illegal trying to illegally take the Iolani Palace, and there was literally a World War III here in 17, I would say close to the end of 1700s, late 1700s or 1800s. So there was a war, and I'm going to say World War III because that is a war. World War III is basically you're trying to overthrow a kingdom or where they have embassies all over the world under Kingdom of Hawaii. And you have the U.S. militia, you have Germans, you have English, you have French, trying to divide and conquer this island. So basically that's what happened. These white supremacists came and just bamboozled and tricked these Ali'i people. And the Kanaka Maoli, now in the condition they're in, there's like maybe 4,000 something Kanaka Maolis left. Maybe about 4,500 real native Hawaiian or natives or Kanaka Maoli left. And the rest who say they're Hawaiian, they're either Chinese or like Keanu Reeves, that's a Chinese guy. Keanu Reeves, that's a Chinese guy. Or, someone posing as a Hawaiian, whether they're Haole, Irish, like, what's her name? Kelly Preston. Kelly Preston is a pure Irish Celtic. And she's married to John Travolta, and she has a Hawaiian name. And she's pure Irish. So that's another thing they do a lot, these Edomites, Esau Edomites. If you watched Hidden Colors 1, Hidden Colors 2, Hidden Colors 3, Hidden Colors 4, and 1804 Aiti, the documentary by Tariq Nasheed, and you have Nas. Of course, my favorite rap stars, Nas, KRS-One, Wycliffe, from Fuji's, Wycliffe Jean in 1804 Haiti, Professor Smalls, Boyce Watkins, Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson for Pan-Africanism. You have all these people in the documentaries of Hidden Colors. And Hidden Colors is great because it not only talks about what the black people went through black slavery, or even how the black people were before slavery in Kemet, in Zion, Mansa Musa. He was like the fourth Mansa, and Fortune magazine recently, because of so much of the documentary and the videos and even the facts and archaeological evidence put out by scientists and archaeologists and ethnic studies majors or PhD or masters, or people who are professors of African studies or Asian studies or Afro-Asia. Basically, Fortune magazine recently named Mansa Musa the king of Mali, or the empire of Mali, or the empire of Ethiopia and Kush, the empire of Mali, as the richest person in the world. Even in 2019 or 2018, he's still the richest person in the world, Mansa Musa. So he was a king of Mali, and he was like fourth or fifth sultan, the Mansa from Mali. And he had so much gold that he literally bankrupted the gold system. He gave out gold to Asia Minor when he was in Asia Minor, to the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites got a lot of the gold from Mansa Musa. And the Ishmaelites, of course, are the Ottoman Turks, the Syrians, the people who are from Iran, Iraq, people from Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Persia, Iran. But anyways, it just boggles my mind how Fortune magazine would go with that, instead of saying, oh, Bill Gates is the richest person in the world, or Donald Trump is the richest person in the world because he got Trump hotels. But they agreed with a lot of these black nationalists or people who are talking about Mansa Musa, even professors at Cal State Long Beach, professors at UCLA. They're talking about Mansa Musa in the Asian studies, or Afro-Asian studies, or Pacific Island studies. They're talking about Mansa Musa, the king of Mali, who was the richest person in the world and had more gold than any other. Even the Shanti Empire, the Kush, Kemet, he had the most gold, and he's still the richest person in the world according to Fortune magazine. Mansa Musa, a black Moor, literally a Moor, because Moor means black, or from Morocco or Moyai in Portugal, or España, Spain, or the Iberian Peninsula. So anyways, as far as what's going on here in Hawaii, Oahu, because of so much of the homeless issues, the homelessness, and you have a lot of squatters. One thing you'll notice, there are a lot of squatters here in Honolulu, Hawaii. And if you understand what that means, what squatters are, if you ever watched The Walking Dead show, season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, Walking Dead, it's literally a story of these people, group of people, whether they're zombies or these people just going around and just going into homes, going into areas and just taking it over. And that's what's going on here, and even in North America. So we have a squatter problem, huge squatter problem they don't want to talk about because of white supremacy. And there's also a huge problem with the land issue, not sovereignty, not nation of Hawaii, not Kingdom of Hawaii, but just the land issue. That's all they want back, their land. All the Kanaka Maoris, 4,500 of them, they just want their land back. They look like Tariq Nasheed. They look like a Fijian. If you ever meet a Kanaka Maoli, they look Fijian or Samoan. And a lot of Kanaka Maoris do look Samoan. But anyways, that's sort of the issue that is going on here right now as of January 15, 2019. The squatter issue, the homelessness issue, people who are under the yoke of white supremacy. And I see a Panda Express here too. Panda Express, and Yummies. So the yolk of white supremacy, and it's not extra crispy. It's not that crispy, but the yolk of white supremacy, crispy or extra crispy that Tariq Nasheed talks about, or coons or mammies, or the coon or mammy or bedwench thing. But I'm not going to get into that in this video. I'm just going to talk about basically, the food was pretty good, but this food, the L&L's is better. The L&L's plate lunch is better, and I recommend L&L's compared to Poi Bowl. And that's just my, as far as the taste of the food and just the value, the food is better at L&L's. But anyways, as far as this video of the food and touching on Hidden Colors, white supremacy, and the films, the documentary films, Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I loved Hidden Colors 2, where Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson, Professor Runiko Rashidi, I think Professor Runiko Rashidi is a professor at Yale or Harvard on African Studies. And I believe Dr. Umar Johnson, he has a psych degree, and I don't know if he is a relation to Frederick E. Douglass, but I'm not going to get into that because that might infringe on copyright on this video. But Dr. Umar Johnson, insists that he is a relative of Frederick E. Douglass, or I guess a person who sued U.S. and ended black slavery, and Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad. So I really loved Hidden Colors 2, where they went into Asia, and they were talking about how Asia, not just the Sentinel Islands, not just the Andaman Islands, not just Diego Garcia, not just India, or who are the real Asians. The Sentinel Island people are the Andaman. That's how my ancestors looked before the Mongolians or Chinese invaded and kind of mixed blood with the black people and look like Cherokee or Navajo like this. But anyways, the thing about Hidden Colors 2 that really surprised me was when they were talking about Asia and the Yonaguni, the pyramids, and the different tribes, Batek tribe in Malaysia, the Sakai, the Nung, the different tribes in Thailand, and how black people, even the Kafirs or the Dravidians in India, are kind of hidden and not shown. They're not shown in front of the television, or they're not shown in public. Hey, these are the native people of Asia. So the real East Asian people are Andaman or Sentinel Islands. And it's not just an archery club where that recent guy who was a YouTube blogger went to Sentinel Islands and just got billion arrows shot at him, poison arrows and spears, and I applaud that. Thank you, my East Asia Sentinel Island, my people. So he went over there to colonize Sentinel Islands, and he got killed. And he was a YouTuber. He wasn't a missionary. He was a YouTuber. His name was Chow. I guess a Hapa guy, Caucasian, Cantonese, or Hong Kong. But he basically he just got ate up. You're not supposed to go on the Sentinel Island. You're not supposed to go on Andaman Islands, or even Chagos Island, which the U.S. and England stole from the Chagos people. Chagos Island, Diego Garcia, or Fantasy Island. That's what the U.S. military calls it there. But anyways, Hidden Colors really touched on my roots, my ancestor roots, not just the Jacob Judah tribe of 12 tribes of Hebrew Israelites, the Negroes, or the 12 tribes Jacob Judah, or Benjamin, or Levi, or Issachar, or Guatemalan, El Salvador, or Mexican, or Panamanian, the 12 tribes of Israel with ISUPK. But basically, it touched on the Asian roots. The first, I guess the first shogun was a Negro shogun, was a black shogun, and not Yasuke. Yasuke was a black samurai from I guess Cameroon, either Cameroon or I believe it was from Cameroon or Sudanese or Sumerian. But he became the one of the, I guess, really well-known samurais, and he was a black person, Yasuke, black shogun samurai. And then you had Takamaru Sakanoe. Takamaru Sakanoe was the first first black shogun in Japan. So not just talking about the Ainu or Dr. Umar Johnson, as he was talking about his instructors, PhD professor who went to Japan and saw these Afro or woolly-haired Japanese people. The Ainu are the real Japanese people, and they do look Asian and black, just like Batek. Even in the Philippines and even in Korea, you have the Arta or Negritas or Negritos de Arta, and they look black. The Arta people, Arta or Negrita or Negritos in Philippines, they look black. So the Philippines that you know, who you think are Philippine people, they are not the native people of the Philippines. The Philippine people are the Arta, Negritas, Negritos. Even in Thailand, you have the people who wear the rings on their neck, the Sakai, the different tribes, and Batek in Malaysia, who escaped colonialism, escaped rape, murder, and they hid in the forest in Malaysia. The Batek tribe, who look just like people from Harlem, pure black people. So I agree with Hidden Colors too, and I applaud Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson. I applaud, Wycliffe Jean from Fugees, running for presidency in Haiti and being stopped and actually being even almost assassinated by the white supremacists like Clinton or Bush, who are stealing the gold and resources there in Haiti. But just as far as Hidden Colors 2, I'm not going to get into all the documentaries. I'm just going to touch on Hidden Colors 2. Hidden Colors 2 really kind of showed me like, hey, this is my ancestral roots, East Asia, or talking about the Asian continent, where the real Asian people are the black people, are the people from, Ta Moray, Ta Negas, or Kemet, or what is called Egypt now. A lot of those people who are Nubians, Sudanese, people from Cameroon settled into Asia. And even if you go to Korea, whether it's South Korea or North Korea, there is a pretty small little Africa town in Itaewon where a lot of the black people, whether they're from Compton or from the U.S. military or from Cote d'Ivoire or Ghana, or even Sam Okiri, who is Ghanaian and who is the top model of South Korea, Sam Okiri, and he's pure Ghanaian. And even Hyun Kim, whose mom is Korean and dad is Nigerian, I believe. So you have a large population of black people in Itaewon, Little Africa, and South Korea, Seoul. And you also have India towns, Little India. You have Turkish people there. You have Iranian. You have Manila Marketplace in Hewa, near the Philippine consulate, which is close to Itaewon. So you have a lot of these black people always trying to kind of be in Asia, because in Asia they don't have to go through the hassle of cops pulling them over because they're black, or cops harassing them because they're black, or Caucasian people harassing you because they're black or dark skinned. So that a lot of the black people are surprisingly moving back to Asia instead of Africa, like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle ran away to, I guess, South Africa, and he's married to a Filipino wife, Elaine, for 14 years. And Wade Brady, I believe he's married to Takata, a Korean or Japanese wife, Wade Brady. But anyways, I'm really fascinated from Hidden Colors to how Tariq Nasheed went deeply into Asia as far as our roots, and even Gandhi. And he is not a Mahatma, and I did a book report on him before, and I will never call him Mahatma again. I'll just call him Gandhi. How racist views he had, or prejudicial views Gandhi had towards the Kafirs or Dravidians, the real India people. And how when he was in South Africa, Gandhi, how he he just made a lot of comments in his journal about the coffers and the black people and the racial comments. So they took down the statue of Gandhi in Ghana University, and I applaud that. Thank you, Ghana University, and for taking down Gandhi's statue. Even in India, the true India people are the Dravidians and the Kafirs. That's Buddha. Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama is a Kafir. And that's why you see the naughty hair, where KRS-One was talking about in Hidden Colors too. So anyways, I'm gonna stop this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll be going into 1804 Aidi documentary a little bit more, and I'll be showing you a little bit more of the plate lunch scene here in Hawaii. Okay, bye.